Welcome back to WagerTalk TV. It is March Madness, and we've got a good one for you. We've got Iowa playing Cincinnati. I'm joined in studio with Brian Leonard and Eddie Boron. Eddie, I'm going to start with you on this one. Cincinnati got a favorable draw here. They are playing this game at Columbus, Ohio. This is basically going to be a home game for them. Do you think this is a big advantage for them, and how do you see this game and this one goes on Friday?
I do see it as an advantage, but the biggest advantage I see is Cincinnati's defense. I believe, Iowa wants to go up and down. Cincinnati likes to slow it down. So I believe the one who controls the tempo is going to have the advantage. And Cincinnati's definitely going to control the tempo. And you look at Iowa's last 5-6 games, basically they beat one team, Illinois, and the rest, these were basically blowouts. They're losing by 15, 20 points each game. And you get behind with Cincinnati like that, they're going to kill the pace, and you just don't have time to get back.
Brian, going to look at Cincinnati, they pulled the big win on the conference championship game against Houston. Houston was the number 1 team all year. Those teams battled. They were clearly the 2 best in a pretty deep American conference this year. There was 3 or 4 teams in that conference that were good. Central Florida, Temple played well. Even South Florida played well at times during the season. Playing that big team 3 times and getting the upper hand finally in the conference championship. Do you fear that might have taken something out of them going into this one?
Not really. And Teddy kind of touched on this when he was talking about the Gonzaga St. Mary's game. I don't like playing championship games and conference tournaments when you got one team is already in the tournament playing a team that's fighting to get into the tournament. You see it all the time. We've seen it in the Mountain West all these years. San Diego State has been dominant, and all of a sudden they get beat by somebody in the championship. These conferences make money off of these invites. So I don't pay a lot of attention to who wins that conference in that situation. I don't like this Iowa team. We talked about another Big Ten team in the past that I don't think is very good. They're 15th in the country in offensive efficiency, but only 209th in defensive efficiency. That is really bad when you consider the Big Ten for overall slows it down. They're not a big running team. Teams in those conferences. Cincinnati, this is a team, they're 17-2 when playing in a top 100 team that's not in the top 25. They don't beat the elite teams, but when they beat the other teams in the top 100, 17-2, that's pretty impressive. They're 9-1 their last 10 games, 11-4 on neutral and road courts. And as you mentioned, they're only 106 miles away from their home court here. So this is one game where I do have an opinion on. I like Cincinnati.
You two guys are in agreement. One thing that I'll throw out, Iowa's definitely one of the teams that people talked about. Did they really belong here? This is a team that finished the season 1-5 to finish it. They had a 500 record in the Big Ten. Do teams like this that hear everybody talk about them, you shouldn't be here, does that give them any added motivation, though?
It definitely does. And I haven't had time with baseball season coming up and all to listen to the national broadcasts. But usually if you just take the teams that nobody says should be there, they always seem to do really well. So
that first game, at least, they do. Yeah. So that's the only concern if you want to make the case for Iowa. But we have 2 votes for Cincinnati in this one. And guys, we've got that special offer going at WagerTalk and Sports Memo. If you've never tried either of those 2 sites, you can get $20 off your first purchase. Just use coupon code MM20 and get $20 off. This offer is good until tip-off of the first game on Thursday. And guys, do us a favor. You like our videos? Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and leave us a comment down below. We love to hear from you guys. We'll be back with more here at WagerTalk TV.